I'm gonna give us a countdown.
Let's do it.
And we're good.
Okay.
All right. And I do part of it. I do want more facing like each other and not as much camera. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. You ready?
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1. What's good?
What's up, y'all?
We're here. I'm excited. We are here on Agent Talk Podcast. It's been a while since I have recorded an interview. Been a while since I recorded an episode as a whole, I would say. So I don't know when this is going to come out, but I do know amongst my newest releases is I wanted to take a step up in regards to the podcast, and that meant more in-person interviews as well as higher quality conversations, I would say. So, we're here. This is my first interview with the Shure mic.
Ooh.
We got the setup, we got the lights, and we have Aniyha Jones.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, y'all.
Okay, so Aniyha, we'll just get straight to it. You're someone that you're doing a lot of great things. You're 20.
20.
You're 20. And you're working with worldwide brands. You have just an amazing podcast. Like you're doing it.
You hyping me.
And yeah, I'm boosting a little bit, but you're doing it, in our day and age. If just off the top, who is Aniyha Jones?
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. Hey y'all, thank you Joshua for having me on. What's this? This is Retry.
This is Retry. So yes, we recorded multiple episodes of some sort, but we recorded a while ago on Zoom. But it's due time. This is just too good of a conversation to have to leave it through just virtual, dialogue.
I feel special. Okay. I'm Aniyha Jones, so I'm an undergraduate at U of I, marketing major, minor in the RST, which stands for sports management at my school. Podcast host, so if you haven't tuned in to You're Wrong, sir, you should definitely go make that move. Talking about sports, but for me, I don't know, I'm a lot, bro. I don't think I can be confined to one thing, but I love content. I'm a creator, I'm a podcaster, and really just, for me, an advocate for African American people in sports, and most importantly, women. So that's the goal for me. I'll see where it takes me, but yeah.
Okay, that's good. So a lot to chew on. We'll dive in. Background, we met because you took my Agent Academy course maybe like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago around.
It was 20. Whoa.
It was a
this
while.
This upcoming summer going to make 2 years because it was 2020.
Okay, so in 2020, I took my Agent Academy course and really stood out. And I don't know if I reached out to you or you reached out to me, but we ended up working together. And I remember on the very first call that we're on.
He told his story to everybody.
Yes, we're on the very first Zoom. And for me, I think this is intentional. If you are someone that's listening to this or watching this and you're, 18, 19, 20, and you're looking to how can I stand apart, I had an 8-week course where if you have 20 individuals, usually there's going to be 1 or 2 that show up to every class, that take notes, that's on time, that ask questions, that gives their all in the final project, and you are one of those people,
Right.
And so for me, I think that's very important. But then as we go into, the first actual meeting that I had with Aniyha, it was me, Aniyha, and Rodney. And it was my first time really talking with Aniyha. We talked for an hour. Aniyha talked for probably like 52 minutes. Just came with the ideas, the questions, the ideation as a term that she likes to say. And for me, it just, off the top, I think the first impressions are meaningful. And so that, in short, is how we got connected. And it's just been working, together ever since. But you are also doing a lot on your own. You're 20 years old. So let's break this down. You're in school right now.
Yep.
Okay, so you're in school, but you're also doing more than that. Let's talk about the podcast. How did you get into podcasting? Speak more on the name. You're wrong, sir. Give me the journey of the podcast.
Okay, cool. So, I had really got into podcasts in the summer of 2020. COVID hit, freshman year was just ended. I mean, I was at home, everything was online, so I was like, I don't have anything to do. I have nothing to do. Me and my friends had nothing to do but be in school, be at home. And I was like, okay, I want to be intentional. So I had started working out faithfully outside of practice from being in school, but working out faithfully every morning. And I followed Prince Donnell on Instagram. And I saw he had a podcast. And I was like, I like his snippets on Instagram, so I'm going to watch his podcast. And so, podcasts are my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm listening to it while I'm in the shower in the morning. I listen to podcasts every day during my workouts. No music. I listen to podcasts, and I listen to 50 Cent's audiobook. And that's how I got through it through all my workouts. And so during that time, I was like, I like this. So I'm listening to other people's. I'm like, okay, I like sports too outside of business and marketing. So I'm going to start listening to sports podcasts. And I came across All the Smoke, watched a couple episodes, and one day I was in the bed and they got 2 hours of my time. Like, I ended the end of the podcast and I was like, no way I just sat here for 2 hours, like, listening to people talk about stuff that I talk about all the time. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I was like, I'm gonna start a podcast. And so I went downstairs and told my mama, like, Mom, what you think? I'm gonna start a podcast. And she was like, well, go do it. What do you need to do? You need to go buy a microphone. You need to do this. I went upstairs. I had a notebook that one of my friends got me, and it has like all of my ideas in it now. But that's like my favorite notebook because I went through it. I was on Google all night. And so May 18th was the day I got this idea. And Juneteenth, exactly a month later, or a day later, I debuted it. And so every day that month, I worked on a podcast. And for me, I just wanted to start it because I have these conversations all the time. But most importantly, our top podcast, I Am Athlete, All the Smoke, love those individuals, but none of them are women. And so I was like, that's not okay. And on top of that, nobody that I know has a podcast that's in college. And so I just wanted to be different. And I was trying to find my footing in sports, and I didn't know what to do. So, like, that's why I was taking Joshua's class to figure out if I wanted to be an agent. So what I thought. I'm not doing that anymore. But, like, I figured that out. It was just a summer of intentionality. And so I asked a friend, like, what should the name be? He gave me a couple names, like, Make It Make Sense. And You're Wrong, Sir. I wasn't feeling it at first. I was like, okay, like, what does that mean? And I started thinking about the meaning of what I wanted the podcast to be about. And so I was like, You're Wrong, Sir. Like, that's it. And so a lot of people tell me, like, your name, like, I love it. And it's crazy because it's just kind of like a pun in a creative way. We always hear male-dominated, women in sports, all of these things. And so really I just wanted to kind of call out those people when I was younger. Like, you can't play basketball. You a little girl. Like, or you can't talk about basketball. You're a girl. And so really just like showing people we're more than capable. We're educated. But I think one of the most important things, a lot of women are like, hey, I'm a woman in sports. And like, that's the only thing I have to talk about. But to differentiate yourself, you have to learn how to talk about things that people don't expect you to know about. So I have to understand how to break down a basketball game. It's like, oh, like she know how to talk about basketball. Okay. Or give my opinion on certain things. And so that was the vision behind the name, but it's been a great like roller coaster, bro. It's been amazing. That was the best decision ever.
You're Wrong, Sir. Okay. Slight plug. Where right now, if you're listening, watching this, where can they follow and subscribe to You're Wrong, Sir?
Yes. Everywhere on all streaming platforms. Anchor, if you like to listen to podcasts there, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast. Episodes on my YouTube channel, so at Aniyha Jones, Aniyha, and then last name Jones, so it's everywhere.
I'll drop the link in the bio or in the description.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll drop some links below. Okay. So the podcast. Let's talk about this. I believe that more people should have podcasts. I think that for myself, podcasts got me out of like some low places. I would say listening to people's stories and like making it tangible that you can do this. Like that's what I got from podcasts. There are other things that you can get from them. However, I also believe not only consuming them, I think that the majority of individuals have wisdom that they can also give to other individuals, but are not necessarily doing it. I think that a lot of people disqualify themselves and say, I don't have anything to give to the world, or who would listen to me, whatever it could be. I'm sure you had maybe doubts. You know, you wanted to start the podcast. You felt like I could do it. You know, I could bring something. Yeah. But
are they gonna listen? Are they gonna support me?
Can you take me through what were the doubts that you had? Because I know there are other people that are listening to this that have doubts as well as how did you overcome them?
Yeah. So doubts going in. So me, when I get an idea, I'm confident. I'm a confident person, so I'm like, I got this, whatever. So when I'm planning it out, I'm hyped. I'm getting logos. I'm ready. I'm excited. And then I'm like, okay, what's the date that I'm going to release this? I had 5 episodes prepared. And then it was time. I was like, okay, Juneteenth. I felt like that was okay. And so I dropped it, and I just like I always tell Joshua this. As soon as I posted it on my LinkedIn, my Snapchat, my Twitter, like everything, Instagram. I put my phone down and I just walked away. And I was like just walking through the house like nervous. Like, are they liking it? Like, are they listening? Like, what are they doing? And so when I came back to my phone, it was like notifications. And I was like, ooh, okay, like what they gonna say? But for me, the doubt was like, are people gonna enjoy hearing me? Because it's one thing for me, I've learned to get satisfaction from like when I release an episode sometimes, I don't have to have 100 listens to feel like you did that. Like, you know, like you feel like it was a good episode, you put it out. So for me, before I got into it, I'm like, are people going to like what I'm saying? Are they going to listen? You are listening to me talk for a second by myself. So, like, are you going to like it? Like, do I have the voice? I'm like, I don't know. But I think you just have to try stuff and get a feel. Like, you just have to push past the fear. But, y'all, this the GOAT. Okay, because when I looked up the Asian Academy, I'm like, okay, who is this guy? Like, I gotta see if he's credible. Like, I'm giving you my money. Let me see if you can teach me something. So I'm looking up his Instagram, and I start listening to Joshua's episodes. The first one I listened to was about Lexi, and you were talking about working for free. First one I listened to, and then I started listening to a couple, and I had reached out, and Joshua just gave me some advice, like, you should do it. Like, pro podcast, like podcast advocate, this is him. Yes. So I think your encouragement and me just pushing past the fear, I was good. Yeah. And so it was cool.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. I think it's like what you said, one, pushing past the fear, because before I had this microphone, I had a Yeti, and Lydia bought me my Yeti, I believe in 2018.
Get out.
I believe so.
You had it that long?
Yes.
No.
And I did not record my first episode, or 2019, one of the two. But I know it wasn't 2020, and I didn't record my first episode until 2020.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think it was 2018, and I just, I don't know. I think there is the thought of, what's the point? I think there's also the thought for people of how much work that people think it's going to take, and it does take time and effort.
But it's not that bad.
It's really not that bad. To me, you know, if you really wanted to do something an hour a week, you could get it done. Yeah. In my opinion. But that's neither here nor there. Coming back though, so not only the podcast, you are doing things outside of that. I know you have ambitions in regards to creating content, telling stories, things of that sort. Can you just kind of give a background? Like you even mentioned how your podcast released on Juneteenth, correct? Why Juneteenth? Why the advocacy for Black empowerment? Like, can you speak, I guess, kind of towards that, and where does that come from, as well as your journey, your goals? Like, what is the mission that you're doing in that regards?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. I feel like it's a daily thing of just trying to discover who I am, discover my aspirations, because there's so much out here, and you just be realizing new things every day. Like, oh, I like this. Like, oh, I like this. Me and Joshua have so many ideas. We text each other all the time. And it's like, we want to do this. We want to do this. We want to do this. And so Juneteenth, first of all, I was like, okay, what better way than to be a way to celebrate like African American history? I was like, just do it. I feel like it's my way of celebrating today. And so I released it. And for me, the mission, the goal, I'm discovering it, but I will say the most important thing for me right now that I want to take my podcast the direction of is educating people on the history. Like, a lot of us play basketball, a lot of us play football, a lot of us do baseball, all of these things, and we don't know the history behind organizations. Like, NBA player, I guarantee you if I asked them, 50% would not know who Earl Lloyd is.
Earl Lloyd.
First African-American person to play in an NBA game.
Was Earl Lloyd.
That's his name.
Did you know that? You didn't know that.
You didn't know that. So tune into your own, sir, and then you learn some more. But small things like that.
What's another one?
Another one. Ooh, okay. Grambling State. I think it was in 19-something. I don't know, 60-something. It was the only school outside of Notre Dame that had the most professional football players, and that's the HBCU. And now nobody won't go to HBCUs. Like, that's mind-boggling. For me, it's one of those things like, people, okay, prepping for an interview for anywhere. You're going to make sure you know the meanings behind the company. You make sure you know their motto, recent news. You're going to research the people who are interviewing you, all of those things.
Right.
That's an interview for a company. Why don't we have the same intentionality when we're getting drafted for the NBA? when we're getting drafted for the NFL, when we're going to the WNBA. Like, we want to impress these people and know the companies, but we don't really know anything about the organizations we're going to. We don't know about the history, anything. And so it's just like, I don't know, it's just lack of intentionality. So for me, educating, history, and entertaining at the same time. Like, I want to tell stories that people don't hear. I don't care about Ja Morant's favorite color. I don't. Like, I want to know, like, more about you. I want to know who you are. Like, I want to get deep into things that people don't have the opportunity to see on a daily. So, yeah.
What is something that nobody out there knows about you?
Oh, okay. Nobody? Like, not you?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, that's hard.
Well, you said
that's a good
you said
question.
you want to show people like stuff that these, whether it's athletes or other individuals, the stuff that the fans don't know.
Okay.
What's something that nobody knows about you?
Oh, okay. I used to be a gymnast.
What? Gymnast?
Yes, I used to do gymnastics, and my mama took me out, and she tweaked. Like, I used to be in gymnastics. She had me in there since like from like 2 to 5 or 6, and like I used to be flipping over everything with the bigger girls. Like, I was doing it, bro. And she took me out. Now I see like Simone Biles. I'm like, Ma, that could have been me. I'm like, why you do that to me? She was like, I don't even know.
That could have been you.
Yes, bro.
You could be on a cereal box.
I'm hurt. I could be on Wheaties.
Why'd she take you out?
I don't know. She has no explanation. She's like, I don't even remember. Like, why would you do that? I'm like, I think back, like, I see them. I'm like, no way. I could have been a gymnast.
That could have been you.
Yes.
Is one of them from Chicago? No.
No, I don't think
Gabby
so.
Douglas is not from neither?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
I feel like I would know if she was.
Dang.
Candace Parker is.
She baller.
Champion.
Baller. Did you know? I don't know if you knew this. Shout out Denny. One of my good friends, Denny, my trainer from back home, who my dad helped start his gym. Candace Parker and her husband, her brother. Mm-hmm. Her brother goes to the gym. Anthony Parker. That's her brother? Yeah, that's her brother, Anthony Parker.
What?
Who does something now with the Magic.
Because she has 2 brothers.
So she's been in that gym. So
Denny, where you at?
Candace.
Hey, Candace, where you at?
Too.
Okay.
Okay, so something is interesting. You had mentioned, you had brought up HBCUs.
Yes.
Should more top tier athletes be going to HBCUs?
Okay.
And why or why not?
Okay, I'm an advocate for yes. Yes, we should go. Because, and for me, I'll start off, right? Coming into senior year, coming into college, I didn't apply to one HBCU. I applied to Howard, and I got in, and I didn't even look at the acceptance letter. I was like, I'm not going there. Like, I just did it for, like, safety net, like, just to say I got into Howard. And because it was just like, everybody wanted to get into Howard, so I just wanted to apply. But I had never considered a HBCU because they aren't, like, depicted to us as the top schools. And my mission was like, I'm going to the best business schools. I'm applying to UW. I'm applying to North Carolina. I'm applying to U of I. Shout out to my fellow Illinois. I'm applying to IU. I wanted to be a Hoosier. That didn't work out. But I was like, okay. And so I think we should, simply because, like, okay, small fun fact. Grambling State used to have the most football players. What? And now we have, like, people arguing with the fact that, like, HBCUs can't produce anybody. That's crazy. Like, we did, though. We used to, with less resources, with less people.
What happened?
So, I don't know. I need to get further than $40 million slaves.
What's the book? What's the book you're reading?
Okay, I'm reading $40 Million Slaves. Amazing. If you have not read it, go read it. Every athlete, every person who wants to work in sports, black, white, any color, needs to read it. No question. What
is the best book you've ever read?
That's hard. Ooh. Best book. We need to do categories or something.
Categories?
Yeah. Okay. So financial literacy, Rich Dad Poor Dad. So far.
Okay. Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's the best one I've read.
Okay. One about sports, definitely $40 Million Slaves, and one about entrepreneurship and kind of like motivation and telling a story, like a memoir. Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter by 50 Cent. He snapped.
Really? Huh?
Oh my God.
Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter.
By 50 Cent.
By 50 Cent.
Yeah. I didn't want to pay for the book, and at the time that I figured it out, he did a free partnership with Apple where he had every chapter in audio for free on Apple Music. And so I just listened to it, the whole book then.
See, I've heard of Rich Dad Poor Dad. I have not read it.
Got
but
to.
I've heard it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I've read $40 Million Slaves.
Yes.
I have not read or heard of Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter.
You gotta listen to it, bro.
Yeah.
I know he's
50
not
Cent.
liked by a lot, but
Yeah.
in terms of like the way he thinks, you just be like, okay, and he keeps it real about everything. Yeah.
What? This is a question I want to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you will be successful?
Yeah. Is that a question?
What is it about you that is different than everyone else that's 20 years old right now that has the ambition that they will? Earl Nightingale. This is going to be a staple on the podcast for me.
Okay.
Earl Nightingale says, on average, and I'm paraphrasing, 1 out of 100 become successful.
Really?
To the utmost degree. The utmost degree of success, like top 10, 1 out of 100.
Okay.
Out of 100 Illini 20-year-olds, 1 out of 100.
It's me.
Why you out of the other 99?
Nobody's gonna outwork me. Nobody's gonna outwork me. Nobody at my age, none of my friends get up at 5 a.m. I do. Like,
Ooh.
like I'm up at 5. They sleep. Like, I'm reading every day. They're not. My networking ability.
Hope your friends don't watch this.
Hey, they know the deal. I be trying to get them up, bro. They don't even want to get up. They be like, you crazy. Yeah, I would say hard work. I know how to push past fear. Like, a lot of my friends tell me all the time, like, hey, I want to do this, or like, hey, I want to reach out to this person, or this is what I want to do. And it's the perfect person. Okay, we'll go text her. Go email that person. You emailed them 3 weeks later? No, I haven't, but I'm going to get around to it. Just reaching out, being willing to connect with people. And it's not always about what you know, but who you know. So I would say my network, my ability to work hard, and I'm passionate. And I really believe in myself. Like, nobody can tell me I'm not going to be successful. Nobody's going to stand in my way.
5 a.m. I'm an advocate for getting up
You
early.
be up at 3:30, bro. How
3:30.
you do it?
I slept in a little bit
Different.
today, though.
Woo.
Lydia's been getting up at 4:45. So,
Really?
yes. So if I decide that I'm going to sleep in, I'm going to try to get up. I still try to get up with her.
Okay.
But you still been getting up early, though.
Yeah.
What got you into waking up early? Because I say it all the time. Early bird gets the worm. Like, it is true. It's the reality. If you attack the day, if you get up, you will win in the end.
No question.
How did you develop that philosophy, and can you explain that?
Yes. So 2 main things. Listening to Prince Donnell's podcast.
Prince Donnell got you right.
Oh, he got me right. Like, literally.
Prince Donnell, if you listen to this, both of us.
Love you.
And we want to interview, help us create content.
Yes, bro.
Okay. Maybe let me franchise a jumping jack tax. Okay. This is not sponsored by Prince Donnell. Okay. Continue.
Yeah. So I was listening to his podcast. One of the first I listened to was Waking Up at 5 a.m. And he was just talking about it. They have their morning meetings for their team at 5 a.m. Like, everybody's on Zoom talking at 5 a.m. about their day.
Wow.
I'm like, what? Like, okay.
They locked in.
They locked in for real. So I'm like, okay,
We're not
cool.
doing that.
We're not doing that.
Yeah.
We ain't there yet, but we will be. We will be. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, cool. You know, successful people are saying this.
Yes.
When we read 50 Cent's book, he talked about waking up early in the morning. He's always working out. Cool, great. I'm like, okay, I ain't really getting into it yet. It's an every other day thing for me, or when I feel like it. Cool. And then one of my mom's friends knew Kendall Gill, who's an NBA vet, and he had like a workout program. And I wanted to get Kendall on our podcast, and I was like, Sarah, you need to plug me. And she was like, well, come work out. Like, you know, just come meet him. I was like, okay. So I can't be like direct coming out there like, hey, bro, get on my podcast or whatever. So I'm like, I'm gonna work out. And I'm going to meet him and introduce myself, get a feel for him, and then I'm asking him like 2 weeks later. And so they work out at 5 a.m., y'all. So I had to get up and go out there at 5 a.m. and work out with him every day. And I stayed up. I liked it. And I'm like, okay. And it was like a community of family. Got him on a podcast a couple weeks later. And so for me, that was my ability to like, I had no choice. Like if I didn't wake up at 5 a.m., Kendall would call me. Where you at? You sleep? I'm like, bro, like get a life. Like how you getting up every day this time? Like what's wrong with you? And he's really like helped me like wake up, and I felt accountable. Like if I didn't come, I come next day and he'd be like, you asleep? Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, like you're killing me. So that was me getting to the routine of doing it. And then our team, you, Matt, Rodney, everybody wakes up early on our team. Everybody. And so when you have people around you who do it, you ain't got no choice. You feel left out. I feel like on our team, if you don't read, you feel left out. If you don't wake up early, you feel left out. Like we push each other with our habits. So all three of y'all combined, it's kind of like a lifestyle for me. Now I'm like preaching it.
How long did it take you to be like, it went from perhaps being a burden to seeing it as this is good for me?
Yeah.
Was it instant? Did it take time? Like how long did it take you to be like, all right, I desire now to do this as opposed to I have to do this?
That's hard. I would say I'm a type of person, I challenge myself. So I want to do it either way. Like I was like, I'm going to do it because I just like pushing myself. But to really see the results, I would say probably like June, like when the podcast came out for real, and I kept doing it and like working out consistently hard. Like he don't play no games, so I was like seeing differences in my body and working with you, productivity. So it was like I'd be up at 5, and then by 12 I'd be like, I don't have nothing else to do. Like I'm out of school, I went to your class, I recorded for the podcast, I have everything set up, and I would be like, dang, I'm done with my day by 12 p.m. And so I kind of like that I had the rest of the day to go be with friends and do everything I want to do. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask is, what would you say for someone out there that's curious, well, what are the benefits of doing it? What are the benefits?
Yeah. Benefits, I think you just feel better. Like you feel more prepared for the day. I don't know about you, but like when I wake up early and I get things done, like I feel good. Like I feel like I just achieved the day. Literally, that's how I feel. And so I think it's an achievement mentally. Also, you get stuff out the way. So a lot of the times I might not finish a homework assignment. And I'll be like, okay, that's cool. I'm going to go to sleep early because 5 a.m., if I don't have the energy to do it now and I'm sluggish and I'm trying to push through, if I wake up at 5 and I work out and I take a shower, it's getting done in 15, 20 minutes. Right. Like I'm on go. You're more productive. You're sharper. So I would say those are the benefits. And having nights. In college, bro, you want to go party. You want to go be with your friends. You want to go to people's house, go to the parties that's happening. And so when you have homework all night, you don't have time for that. Like, homework is a priority. So when I'm done with it by 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., I'm good for the rest of the night. And so I think it's convenient for me. Like, it literally helps. And when I'm more passionate about working with you, when I'm more passionate about my podcast, I can get homework out the way early in the morning. Rest of the day, I can do everything I love to do, not things that I feel like an obligation to do. Yeah.
That's good. What you speak about being able to like push through. So like in regards to the podcast, you got to push through the doubts, push through the fear. It's something that you said multiple times. Waking up early, you got to be able to push through.
Right.
You know, like that's a common concept that you've mentioned.
Yeah. Where
did you develop this mindset of like there's going to be obstacle, but I'm going to like go through it? Like where does that come from for you?
I would say sports, like being an athlete. Yeah, bro, like I wasn't always good at basketball, I wasn't always good at track, things like that. And so just learning like it's okay, you might be in a down period now, but it's gonna be worth it in the end. So I would say sports, and really sports and school for me. School, just knowing like, okay, if you do bad on this test, it's gonna be okay. Keep pushing through, keep studying, being intentional. If you're intentional about these things, you're gonna see the result at the end of the path. So sports and school. Yeah.
Okay. We are 29 minutes in.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take or ask perhaps a few more personal questions. What is Faye like?
My mom. Okay, my mom.
You were raised by your mom?
Yes.
Just your mom, correct?
Yeah.
What's your mom like?
They say I'm like her, or she's like me. I don't know, but she is outspoken, very outspoken. Very silly, like a vibrant, loud person. She ain't quiet, ain't shy, none of that. Really outgoing. I would say really outgoing. She's very hardworking too. Yeah, my mom was like a little fighter. That's how I see her. Yeah.
What is the one thing that you learned the most from your mom?
Ooh. You killing it with the questions.
Hey, I'm trying to get right.
Okay. One thing I learned, most important thing. That is wild. It's a lot.
What?
One most important thing I've learned. I'm going to have to say the importance of education. Yeah.
The importance of education.
How
Why
important
that?
it is to be educated. So I feel like this is, I don't know. My mom has never ever had to like look over my homework, read, like she's never helped me with any homework. I don't even know how I used to pass when I was little. Like I did everything on my own. And so for her, like it was always private school. It was always never helping me with grades, but you got to see what's going on. Like, you okay? Like, is everything okay? Our class is going well? And so put me in tutoring after school, like being intentional about making sure like I understood the importance of education. I understood the importance of college, like going to get a degree. I'm a first generation college student, so when that time comes, I'll be the first in my family. And so like small stuff like that. Yeah, and she didn't finish school either. And so my mom went to college, but she didn't have the rest of the money. So she's really big on like, go do better, like be focused on being educated and things like that. She might not be as intentional as me, but she's instilled it within me, so it's really important to me. Yeah.
Your mom proud of you, huh?
She be trying to be, y'all. She be texting everybody when stuff happens, so
Yeah.
I think so.
That's cool. That's awesome. Another question.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your best friend?
He gonna get me in trouble. You gonna get me in trouble. I got a couple.
You have a couple?
Yes,
okay.
2.
You have who?
Caitlin and Melanie.
Caitlin and Melanie.
Yes.
What is the definition of a good friend?
Ooh. So I think it changes over the years. So like when you're younger, it's just like who can go be fun with you, who can laugh with you or whatever. For me now, it's support. Support is like my favorite thing. I want to know that you're happy for me when I get accomplishments. I want to know that like you're checking on me, that you're proud of me, things like that. Support, always being there, know how to listen, and having a good time. Every friend is different for different things though. So like some friends I can have conversations with about like my aspirations, what I want to do, whatever. And then some friends is just there for when I'm in a bad mood and I just want to have a good time. So I think just really catering to you, understanding how you guys can apply to one another. But with any friend, they should be able to support you, like no matter what.
Your friends support you?
Yeah. I feel like I was just saying this year I feel like I have the best friend group. Like all of my friends, like there's no question about anybody. I know that they're happy for me. They support me. We're all happy for each other. Like, yeah. Like in terms of my friend group, I feel like they're amazing.
Your friend group is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
10 years from now, are you friends with all of them?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Might not be as close to some.
Yeah.
Just because busy and a lot of people may not be as intentional about like their dreams as I am. But definitely still
Gotcha.
cool with them.
You are single?
Yes. Here you go.
Are you talking to anyone?
No.
Your eyes on anyone?
Talking. Okay.
You are?
Talking.
Ooh, you're talking. Is it from the concert?
No.
Oh, it's not the guy from the
No.
concert. Oh, okay. But you're talking to someone.
Yeah.
Okay, so we won't touch too far on that. But you are 20.
Mm-hmm.
You are on a journey of ambition. Like, you're intelligent. Like, you got good things going for you.
Mm-hmm.
You, I think, would perhaps intimidate some men, young men that maybe are not as intentional of trying to like dream chase. What does, and I think this is good because this is like good insight from like a 20-year-old young woman.
Yeah.
What are you looking for in regards to what a potential boyfriend, husband, whatever that could look like? Mm-hmm. I'm curious because I'm 28, so like maybe what people in my generation were looking for, it might be a bit different. Like, what is someone I'm curious to know, like, what's important to you? What does that look like? Do you think there's a large supply of the types of men that you're looking for?
That's a good question.
Like, yeah. Like,
it's definitely not a large supply.
So not a large supply.
Not where I'm at. I'm not gonna say out there in the world, but like at school, trash. Like they're terrible.
What are the guys like at school?
My school is very focused, especially the black community social status. So like, who's cool with who? Who's like, little stupid stuff like that. So like for me, I'm cool with a lot of like, I'm very social, but it's not important to me. And so for me, being family oriented, I don't know what it feels like to grow up in a 2-parent household. Little small things like that. So I know like my aspirations are to have traditions with my family. I want to eat dinner together. I want to celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving. Like I really want to have a really close knit family because I never experienced it. So I definitely want to do that. Hardworking. You have to have aspirations. Like I don't want anybody. I get up and I'm waking up at 5 and you still sleeping. Like it's 8 and I don't know what you're supposed to be doing for the rest of the day. Like that's not gonna work for me. You have to work out. Sorry. Yeah.
Got it.
I can't be with nobody that don't work out. Yeah, those are really faith. Yes, believing in God is really important to me. Can't work without it. I would say those are the most important things. And confidence, like have confidence in yourself. Like trust yourself, believe in yourself, know how to sell yourself, be professional, speak well. You can't not know how to speak. And like clean up nice. You gotta be cute. Like yeah.
That's cool. How do you think not growing up in a 2-parent household has affected you for the good or for the bad?
So I think a lot of things growing up, my negatives, have motivated me to turn things into positive. So like, not in a bad way, but like sometimes like I'm the only person in my family who can relate to speaking in public. Like, and so when you see different things that people are lacking, it's like, I don't want to do that. Like, I want to be better. I want to experience different. And so not growing up the household, it has made me I'm a really affectionate person. So I love affection. And I think it has made me just want to have a close family, like have a really big family, especially because a lot of my friends are in 2-parent households. So I see the dynamic. I see how it is. I see how intentional they are. I'm like, yeah, I want that. I would definitely say that's a positive. Yeah, like pushing me to want it more.
You want kids?
Yes.
How many?
Like 3.
3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely not one. Only child is terrible.
You're an only child.
Yes.
You don't like you wanted a sibling.
When you're a kid, it's cool, but the older you get, no. Like all I have is my friends. Like my friends are my siblings in a way. Those are the people I go to about everything. Like I don't know. I feel like it's good to have a sibling. And when my mom got cancer, that period was like, ooh, like not thinking negative, but what if something happens? Who's gonna like relate to me directly? Who's gonna understand how I feel? Nobody. Not my cousins, not my auntie. Like there's nobody who can really, really relate to me. So definitely need to have more than one.
When did your mom have cancer?
2015, 2016, one of those.
Do you know what form?
Yeah, breast cancer.
Can you speak on that?
Yeah. So I knew before she told me. I knew before she told me. I was just waiting for her to tell me. And so one day I came back from school. My grandma picked me up, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you here? And she was at my house, and that's like unusual. And so I was like, why are you here? She was like, oh, I just came to see your mama, but like, I ain't stupid. I knew the vibes was off. So I'm like, okay. And my mom was like she confides in her friends a lot. So one day I heard her like saying it. And I'm like, it's making sense now or whatever. So I was just waiting for her to tell me. And then one day we were in the car. She was like, oh, I got something to tell you. And it was like before her surgery. And I'm like, what you got to tell me? And she told me. And I was like, I already knew. She was like, you already knew. Like, how did you know? And so it was a trying period. Like,
how old were you?
I was like, it was the beginning of high school. So like 14, 15.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's 15. Just y'all two.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's like me playing sports, it's hard. Like chemo, radiation, like that stuff is real. It'll put you down for real. And so I kind of seen her go through that emotional roller coaster. Like I seen when her hair was falling out. I seen her lowest moments. I seen like I had to like drive myself to school. She couldn't get up some days. Like after having chemo and all of those different things. So it was just really emotional, I would say. But it was good because she overcame it. But yeah, it's interesting. Like you see life from a different perspective. Like you see like, okay, I can lose you. And I was young too. And so it's only us, and I'm helping, and I'm trying to do this, but I'm also in sports. I'm an athlete. I'm doing this, and you can't come to my games because you don't feel good, and like stuff like that. So I feel like it made us closer, definitely. Yeah.
What drives you so much? Like, why do you think that you are like, even kind of like what you were talking about with your mom? Like, all right, I'm still gonna go to school.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still driving to school. I'm gonna help my mom, take care of her. Like, we're gonna get that. The mindset, even like you talking about it and you still smiling about it, like she overcame it, so it's good. Where does this heart posture that you carry like come from? Like the way that you look at the world. Why do you think you have developed that mindset?
Everybody asks me that, bro. I don't know, but like now that I look back, I think it has a lot to do with my mom. Like I've seen her just push through. Like I don't know. Like sometimes, like my mom has like got laid off before because she works in banking. Like my mom has not had a job for like a year or two, and I'm like. Now that I think about it, like being broke in college, bro, I gotta pay for groceries now and stuff and gas. I'm like, how does she do this? Like getting my uniforms, paying tuition, like all of these things, like that's crazy. So I think a lot of it inevitably comes from like me unconsciously seeing her, like be okay, make sure everything was okay despite whatever. I don't know if she was going through up here, emotionally, whatever. And I just really want like success. Like I just see it's so tangible. Like, there's no reason that people in our community shouldn't be getting it. It can come from a lack of fear. Fear. It can come from a lack of belief in themselves, not having people around them who made it seem like it was possible. But, like, I want it. Like, there ain't no reason Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk should be out here and I can't do it. Like, it's there. You just got to go get it.
What does success look like to you? When you first... What is success?
Oh, you hit me with a Matt question.
That's Matt. Matt, if you watch this is shout out my guy Matt. Define success. I don't know if I'll drop it in the description, but if you're listening to this,
yes.
Define Success podcast, Matt Loopy. Okay, check him out.
Shout out Matt.
Shout out Matt. What is success?
Oh, I think it always changes, but I do, yeah, because I believe like every 10 years you should be into something new. I don't think you should be in the same thing. So I think it changes. For me, like
that's good.
Foundation.
Yeah.
Happy family, happy home. Being healthy physically, mentally. I think that's wealth. Like you're successful. Outside of that, for me, I want my podcast to be one of the top podcasts. I want to win an Emmy. I want to win an Oscar. I'm put it out there because I'm gonna do it. What else? Like for me, I think just really being happy. And I want to impact people. Like, I want to help other people coming up after me. I want to know, like, I impacted you positively when I'm gone. Yeah. I don't know. And I feel like the other things, they will figure themselves out. Like, I have different goals. Yeah.
What is the most important ingredient to success?
Most important ingredient? Hard work.
Hard work?
Yeah. Because you can be talented, but that don't mean that if you don't work hard.
Do you work hard?
Yeah. Do you work hard?
I would say I think I could work harder.
Okay.
I think I could be a harder worker.
I think so too. We all have.
You think I could be a harder?
No, me. No, me personally, I think I could work harder too.
I think I could work harder.
But I sometimes get caught up like we do be too hard on ourselves.
So that's what is the balance? Because I'm with you. I personally believe that like. I don't know. My ideal day is wake up. When I wake up, say I wake up at 3:30. I'm done with my day at 2.
Really?
Day's done. Packed in. Like 3:30 to 2. It's packed in. I'm done with my day after. And I believe that a part of me almost like believes that even with the 7 days a week, I think that we should be working like a 6th day. I don't think we should only work 5 days a week. I think we should work 6. Less hours though, in my opinion.
Okay.
That's just my suggestion. I think it works for me. I've been able to control my own calendar for a little bit. But that's just my... How do we get on that topic? What was the question?
What was it? Do you work hard?
Oh, do you work hard?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I could work harder, but I enjoy having a healthy balance of being relaxed.
Yes.
In my opinion. Okay, so last few questions I guess that I would mainly want to ask you is what is next? Like, you have a lot going on. We could talk all day on, suggestions and tips. Maybe I'll come back to a few that I can think of. But like, what is the next step for you? Again, you're 20 years old. You obviously still have to finish your college degree, so you need to get your degree. You've been we could talk a little bit, maybe potentially on what you've been doing with us and things on that end. But like, what is the next goal for you?
Next goal I'm really focused on trademarking my podcast. I'm gonna trademark your
Trademarking the podcast.
Yeah, trademark your wrong, sir, so nobody can take it. I want it. I feel like it's like an amazing name, super marketable. So I definitely want to like know that I own that. I feel like that's just a different type of like gratification. Definitely that.
Is your wrong sir gonna be a company? Like, are you gonna get an LLC at some point?
Yeah, so I'm gonna trademark it and make it LLC.
You gonna let me invest?
Can, bro. I think it'd be your best investment. That's next though. That and elevating it. I got a series that I talk to Joshua all the time about that I have in mind.
A series?
Yeah.
Are you able to dispose anything, or do you want to keep it under wraps?
I will say it's going to be the best content that y'all have seen from a sports podcast thus far, in my opinion. Honest, transparent, but very educational about the history of African American people in sports, and a lot of the times just knowing how we've been gatekept out of a lot of sports, understanding why certain things happen. Why do we only see a lot of white people at country clubs playing golf? Why are certain only black players running backs and wide receivers? Things of that sort.
Give us, okay, what would be one more thing, stat, fact, in regards to black players, athletes in sports that people don't know, that they should know?
That they should know. Ooh, okay. So, there's an African American, and he basically, 29-year-old, started playing golf, and was doing so well, had a lot of victories, right? Doing really good. And it got to the point where he got to the Richmond Open, which was a popular golf tournament back then, and they said, no, he can't compete because he's black. Got that far. He was like, so y'all not going to tell me what to do. Decided to get legal action. The PGA was like, hey, like, we got you. We'll let it happen. It was all just BS. And, yeah. And so they didn't do anything about it. And they changed the PGA Open to the PGA Invitational. And they made it was private and only for white people. So that's kind of how we got to country clubs, because that's where they hosted the private invitationals. And so that's kind of why we see, like, so this series is going to educate us about small things. Like, we just think about, oh, whites, country clubs, but why are they there? When did that start? And so I think that's something people will learn and we'll dive deeper into.
Why is history so important?
Because it repeats itself.
Ooh.
Yeah, because it repeats itself. And I think we just have to understand who we are. Like, what are we representing? Why do things happen? There's no reason why you should be participating in things, working for companies, organizations, and not understand the why for everything. Like, you shouldn't work at a Nike without reading Shoe Dog, because you don't get why. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to work at GSA or Grady Media if we don't understand why you started it. So, like, they gotta watch the documentary. They, like, got to. Right. It's no question. So, history repeats itself, and you gotta understand why.
That's good. If you could, I'm still in a question that we talked about before.
But is it?
It's about to be a good one.
Okay.
I got drink. Okay, so we're gonna.
Hold on.
Listen. We would need sponsors, okay? So if you hydration, this smart water, but we open, okay? Nothing exclusive right now.
Essentia,
PH, Body Armor, Fiji, Zephyr Hills, whoever. Okay?
Ice Mountain. Wait, you like Ice Mountain?
What's that?
Ice Mountain water?
I don't know about that. Listen, there are certain requirements. They need to be like spring water or like quality. Okay, so not tapped.
It ain't tapped.
I never heard Ice Mountain.
You're joking.
No. Sound like a ride. What's it, Space Mountain? Ain't Space Mountain they got it in Orlando?
You need to put this on your IG story, and people gonna be like, you crazy because you don't know what Ice Mountain is.
I don't know what it is. Ice Mountain, hit me up though. I'm open to discussion. Okay, so here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I want to say maybe it was Jeff or Corey G. I had heard it from someone, and they said that their suggestion for someone in high school that was about to graduate from high school would be to, instead of going to college, take out a $10,000 loan and find a mentor that is in a field of their interest and shadow them, basically, for a year.
Okay.
Learn from them, whatever it could be. Basically, intern with them for a year and just be as hands-on as possible. If you could shadow one person for a year, who would it be?
Amazing question. Okay. Love that. My person right now, where I'm at, my goals is going to be Yessirrrrr. Yessirrrrr, no question. Because I think she's really authentic, but media embraces her. So, like, it's one thing to really be yourself and have people not want to change you and accept who you are and, like, blow up because of it. Like, being you. And so, for me, even with the series, right, I want to take the podcast to the next level. Yessirrrrr went from putting friends together, recording a YouTube show where she wrote and produced her own things, and get picked up by HBO.
I didn't know that's how she got. Is that how she got started?
Yes.
YouTube,
bro. She had a show with her friends. They're like acting, like it's her show. YouTube. And so, how do I get from YouTube to HBO? How do I get from YouTube to Stars? How do I get from YouTube to Showtime? I gotta figure that out. And so, I think she would be like the ultimate person. Yeah.
I gotta look more into Yessirrrrr.
She the GOAT, bro.
Really, huh?
Yes.
I'm not tapped in like that. I didn't realize that's how she got started.
Yeah. She like goated. Like for me, I don't even know all the details. Like I want to know, how do you go from here to HBO? Even like a worry for me, right? Maybe wanting bigger backing for my podcast, having autonomy. I just listened to her podcast with Kevin Durant on his podcast called ATHLETA, and she was just talking about how she loves HBO because they're intentional about letting her choose her music, her soundtracks, like having control over her show. How do you get that relationship where people are not trying to change you but accept you and bring you on? Because a lot of stuff can be censored. We just talked about Instagram. People can censor you on their platforms. How do I not be censored? How do I still put out the message but have bigger backing so like everybody in the world can see it? Yeah.
That's good. I like that. Yeah. You on it.
I'm your best guest, bro.
Oh, you confident over there. That's good. That's so interesting. That's good. This is good. I just got really random questions that come to mind that I think are just, I don't know if I've talked about this before.
What is it?
So I don't know if I've told, I don't know if I told maybe really anybody this, but why I think I enjoy asking questions in these discussions. When I was little, I believe a lot of everything goes back to when we were young. And what we see when we are a child and our interaction with our parents, etc. Me and my mom, we used to lay in bed at night, and I would always lay in the bed with her, or she would lay in the bed with me till I was like about to go sleep, and then she would leave. Oh yeah, till I was like 9, 10, 11, 12. Even still, even still like college. Like
I slept with my mama till I was like 14.
Oh yes, it's no shame. There's no shame. But she used to every night. I used to tell her like to ask me questions. Like ask questions, and she would just ask me random questions.
No way.
We would have like trivia cards, and I would just eyes closed, and she would just ask me questions.
Get out.
Such and such animal in this country, or what's this the color of this, or something with this flag, something with geography, like every night.
Really?
Yeah. So I just always liked. To me, I think asking questions. People don't know how to ask questions anymore.
They don't.
In our day and age, like we don't know how to say how are you. It's a lot of people that just, if you notice, if you really tune in, most people just give their own thoughts in conversation. Yes. They don't even listen to what you're saying. The whole time you're talking, they're ready to respond. Yes. It's a reality. So
that's good, bro.
I'm telling you, if you peep it, you like really pay attention to people in conversation. Most people, if you say something to them, they will not even answer you directly. If they answer, they'll just say what they wanted to say originally anyways. I'm telling you, if you really listen to the words that people say, most people, I want to say it was some dude named Simon. He was on. You gave a YouTube episode, and he was giving a tip. This is kind of tangent, but I think it's tangible. He was giving a tip, and he was saying how if you want to be a better individual, a lot of people say that you need to listen better. You need to be a better listener. And he was saying like, what does that mean? And for most people, 2 issues is the majority of us do not know how to allow another person to finish their sentence before. I thought I heard something.
That's
camera. Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you need to hit that?
No.
Okay. Most people do not allow an individual to finish their sentence before interrupting them. So most of the time we interrupt somebody.
That's true.
Before they finish talking, they interrupt. There will be an interruption. 2 is within 7 seconds, most people are no longer in thought about what the person is saying. You're thinking of something else. So I'm talking to you, but you're thinking about tomorrow.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just those little things that I really do think make a difference. Do you actually need to get that with your camera though?
No, we good.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. But for time's sake, I did have another question.
Yes.
That's going on another, I guess, a different side, a different tangent.
Okay.
Is if you could eat one last meal.
Ooh.
You have your last meal. Last food. I say this because food is universal. It's one of the few things that's universal. Everybody don't speak the same language. Everybody don't have the same currency, but we all speak hunger.
That's true.
What would be one meal, your last meal?
Last meal? It's gonna be my mama's cooking. Some soul food, some greens, sweet potatoes, cornbread. Oh yeah.
She's snapping.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
When you come to Chicago, I gotta tell her to cook. She gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm a cook. She'll be hyped.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, simple. What would be one previous period in time in your life that if you could go back and relive it, you would?
Ooh. That's a good one. Oh, okay. I was feeling that one. One moment to relive. Wow. I would do senior year over again.
Of high school?
Yes. Senior year high school.
Someone I think texting you. You need to see that?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
It might be Faye.
She okay.
All right, senior year of high school.
Yeah.
Why senior year of high school?
Senior year of high school, that was the lowest year I've had in high school. So many things I was into with my friends. But it was also like high too. Like I had broke with my boyfriend. Like it was.
That was a high, huh?
No, that was a high.
Okay.
That was a low. That was a low. But okay, because we won sectionals that year for basketball.
Okay.
So
like regionals.
Yeah, so we did regionals and we did sectionals.
Okay.
And I got injured in the regional game. I came down the wrong way and I tweaked my leg. I was like, oh my God, like you gotta be kidding me. And so I just, from the sideline, I know if I was in, we would have won. And I was like, dang, okay. That one. And I think I would just be more intentional about things. So like I would do that over again. I wish I would have took track more seriously. I went down to state my first year of taking it serious. Like I was just
you
running.
You were an athlete, huh?
Oh yes, for sure. I went down state. I qualified for state. I was like, I've been asleep. Like what have I been doing? I was too focused on basketball. So I would do that. And imagine if I started the podcast then. If I knew I wanted to be in sports, but I didn't know, like I always thought sports agency, but what if I found you? What if I was more intentional about networking even before I got to college? I'd be set. So I would relive that year over again, make smart decisions, not let certain people get to me. I would just really be like more locked in on like me. Yeah. And sports and my accolades. Yeah.
That's good. What would be one person or one thing that you perhaps wish someone would have told you when you were younger?
When I wish somebody would have told me.
So maybe 5 years ago, if someone could say, hey, I'm coming back from the future. If you could tell your old self something, what would it be? To invest and save. Invest and save. What have you learned so far? 20 years old, still in college. What do you know about investing and saving?
So I gotta get more in tune with it, but like the Rich Dad Poor Dad book changed my whole mindset. So for me, the biggest takeaway from that book was you do not want to pay for things from your income column. You want to pay for it from your asset column. So if I say I want a Shure mic, I don't need to depend on my next check from being a manager to pay for it. It could be coming from me investing in something. It can be coming from another passive income. Things like that. So he talked about even like his wife buying a car. He didn't get it from the income. He got it from an asset. They built, I was like, okay, we need $70,000 to buy this Mercedes-Benz and pay it off. How do I get my assets up? So that's nothing. Like it's not coming out of, what's coming in. So I would definitely say that's the biggest takeaway. Figuring out how to build my asset column is kind of something I'm trying to figure out.
That's good.
Yeah, being more intentional.
Is college teaching you that?
No, that's why I don't need to be there.
That's good. That's good. I'm trying to see. I got so many that I can go with. I don't want to be here too long, though. Okay.
What is it?
Next question. If you could go anywhere in the world, where are you going?
That's a good one. Dubai. It's gorgeous there. You see the sand. Everybody be having their little rap song. Like I just want to take pictures. Like like it's me. I'm out there. Yeah, I gotta see Dubai.
That's good. Okay. I really don't have too much left. I think that's been good. I know we will get you on again, so I don't want to kind of leave too much. Anything else that you want to say while you're here? What would be if you just had the mic? You have a platform where you can just say whatever you want. If you had a message to the world and what's going on, just what would be one thing that you would want to say to the world right now?
Trust the process and be patient. That's the biggest lesson I've learned this semester. I came into this semester focused on internships, focused on trying to impress people, focused on getting connections. And like recently, a couple weeks ago, I had to call with Joshua because I was down, like low. It was affecting everything.
Okay, continue. First, continue your point. That brings me to another question. Continue. You were low, and then what happened?
I was low. Had a call with somebody, an exec at a major company, and it was kind of like, okay, I didn't like how that went. I didn't kind of like where I was professionally. I was like, I'm stagnant. Like, what do I do? And so I'm really big on having faith, but for me, sometimes I get so down because it's like, bro, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. I'm working out every day. I'm doing this. I'm putting myself ahead of all the people around me. Everything I want, it's like it's not coming at the time I want it to come. Like I feel like I deserve this. Like I watch other people's podcasts, like ain't touching mine. It's like, why am I not out here getting Emmys? Like no reason. Like it don't make sense. And so being patient, like just be patient. It's coming because a lot of the times, every time. I swear, every time I get down, every time I have one of those periods, something good happens to me. Every time I get down, it could be like somebody responded for the podcast, and I'll be like, get out of here. Like, no way. Or it'll be something good always happens, like right after I'm down, I'll be like, and it'll be like my motivation again. For me, that's like God sending a message like, girl, get up. Like, you okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
What has been your lowest point?
Lowest point. Senior year.
What's been your highest point?
Highest point, the summer of 2020. Meeting you, starting a podcast, like those things have like changed my life in a whole different direction. That's the highest point so far.
What is the difference between you now and the you that you want to be?
The difference. You're killing me, bro. The difference between me now and who I want to be.
Yes.
Resources. Resources. If I had a top podcast team, Emmy, give it to me. Yeah. So I would say resources, like lack of capital, things like that. But I ain't gonna let that put us down. We're gonna figure out how to get to it. But I would definitely say resources because I got the confidence. I have the motivation. Of course, knowledge too. There's always room out there to grow. I'm probably going to be 10 times smarter than I am now in 10 years. But I would say resources.
What is your best asset?
Best asset.
Your mind.
Or mine.
What is your biggest weakness right now? Personally. So not business side. Personally. What is one thing that you are not doing yourself? Is there anything you've been slacking on? Is there anything that you know, like, I'm not giving 10 out of 10 in this category?
Personally, right? So, like, not podcasting. No. Personally, like, I would say patience. Patience. Being more patient. I gotta be more patient. I gotta learn how to be more patient. Even more patient than I think I am. 10 times more patient.
You have an iPhone?
Yes.
What would, if someone paid you $1,000, actually, let's change it. Okay. What would someone have to pay you to give up having an iPhone?
To give up having an iPhone?
Yes. To no longer use the iPhone.
I don't think they could pay me. I don't think they could pay me, bro. I need the iPhone. iPhone, bro.
Oh, my chest hurt.
I need the iPhone.
You're not playing.
They could keep it. I'm okay, bro. I need the iPhone.
Oh, man, bro. Okay. 20,000.
How long I gotta give it up? How long do I have to give it up for?
Hold on, bro. Woo.
How long I gotta give it up for, bro? Is this a contract, a specific time? Is this for forever? Like, what's happening?
Okay.
I need FaceTime too.
To give up iPhone for the rest of your life. No more iPhone. How much?
I'm okay. I'll figure out how to get the money another way.
You want to do it?
Okay.
Okay, this is good. Okay, all jokes aside. What is it about Apple that they have so embedded themselves in our basic living that you would not take? Like, if someone gave you here's $1 million cash, you can never have an iPhone again. You're not doing it.
$1 million? That sound good though. At this time, I might have to take it.
$1 million.
Cause I need my podcast to blow. So.
So it would take something of that nature.
Yeah.
Why so much for just a phone?
It's not just a phone. It is just a phone, but it's not just a phone. Like, they have resources that nobody else has. Like FaceTime, you can literally communicate with anybody with the phone. Skype quality's not that. Zoom quality's not that. Like. Nobody's competing, and I love how it connects to our computers. So, like, I get texts on my computers. Like, I'm kind of multitasking. Yeah, like, Apple Podcasts is free. I don't have to pay Spotify. Like, they have little perks that are, like...
That's good.
It's a no-brainer, kind of. And the quality of the camera.
What is, for you, the number one brand?
It's Apple.
Is it Apple?
I think it's Apple. Yeah. Like, people can love Nike, but still, put on some Adidas if they need to. You're not buying Microsoft. You're buying Apple. You're not buying anybody else.
It's Apple.
Yeah.
I'm not having an iPhone yet.
I'm okay. We good. They can keep it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yes. If you had $1 million.
Yo, I need it. If anybody wants to invest, then you're wrong, sir.
What would you do with it?
What would I do with it? I would invest it all back into me, my business. So I would trademark the pod if I got it today. I'd be like, EJ, where you at? I got the money. Like, let's make it an LLC. Let's trademark it. And I would go do my series. I would go travel. That's money for travel. That's money for Kadian Hall, GOAT, okay, and videography. I would pay Kadian, and we would do it.
Shout out Drew's picture.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
If you are not in tune, get in tune. Yeah, that's what I would do. That would be the first thing. And I would invest in stocks. I would invest in stocks, and I would really just get my production together, and I would just start doing everything that I wanted to do.
Why
To be honest, I might drop out of school.
Your mom gonna come across that table. Say what it check.
She ain't gonna understand.
Yeah. Why are more people not successful?
It's too hard. Like people, I think everything's about your mental. Like people aren't willing to. When I tell my friends, like I wake up at 5, they're like, "Girl, you crazy? Can we do 8? No, we can do 5. You can't work out with me if you're not getting up at 5 or 6." And I think people don't want to take the extra step. It's like losing out on sleep is not worth it, but it is though. It is when you start doing it. I think it's just that extra mile. Some people are just lazy. They don't just want to do it. But you don't see the value until you do it. So when they never do it, they don't understand why other people do it.
How can you bring someone H2O on a fork?
What? H2O on a fork? H2O on a fork? Do you know the answer to this question?
I do know the answer to this question.
H2O on a fork. You just put water on it? Don't it got the lines can hold a little water on it? No. What is it? It has something to do with vapor, evaporation, something. No.
You put an ice cube on the fork.
That's smart. I'm stupid.
Yeah. That was just, it came to mind. What do you want to be remembered as?
An amazing storyteller.
An amazing storyteller. Who is the best storyteller right now?
Me.
You? Okay. I like that. That's good.
You ain't gonna give me to say nobody else. Even if I think somebody else, I can't say it.
I like the confidence. Okay. I don't really have too much else for you, Aniyha. Okay. Before I ask my kind of wrap-up questions, where can people connect with you? Where can they contact you, follow you, all the things?
Yes. Okay, I'm on everything, right, y'all? I have Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, everything. So LinkedIn, it's myself, my name, YouTube, Aniyha Jones. Also on Instagram, it's NIYH and then 3 A's, a dot and a period. Or you can just type in my full name and it'll come up. I'm everywhere. Just type in the name. Yeah, everywhere. A podcast website, www.yourwrongsir.com if you want to go listen. Yeah.
Last 2 things. One, what is the most important thing in life?
Mental health.
Mental health. Why mental health?
You're nothing without this being okay. You cannot work out without being okay. You cannot contribute to others without you being okay first. But you gotta be mentally okay. Yeah.
Mental health.
And success is about a mental game. Like working out, sometimes I'll be like, man, I be doing jump squats like this crazy. But like you have to push yourself through. Mentally, you gotta be strong.
That's good. Last question.
Okay.
So you got all these dreams, ambitions, doing this, doing that, whoop-de-whoop, a lot going on. What is the one thing that you are most grateful for right now?
My village. People around me. You, GSA, Grady Media Team, my family, my amazing friends. Yeah, because I'm nothing without y'all. Like, I don't believe in the word self-made. Nobody's self-made. You didn't just get here by doing everything by yourself. You had a team. You connected with people. So I'm grateful. Y'all push me. Y'all make me want to go harder. Y'all make me feel good. Y'all help me celebrate my wins. You pick me up when I'm down. Joshua gives me probably some of the most criticism out of everybody. Like, why you ain't make a video yet? But like, it pushes me like, okay, you're right. I know I got to go make this video. So definitely my village.
That's good. I like that. I did want to speak on, a few weeks ago, you said you wanted to come to me because you were not sure of your role in regards to what we were doing for a period of time. And you said it took you like 2 or 3 weeks to say something to me.
Yeah.
Why did it take you time when you had already known that you wanted to talk to me?
It was a thing of like outside of like, I feel like it's different with just a general professional connection, but like we have an actual relationship. So it's one of those things where like I didn't want to feel like I was letting you down if I felt like I couldn't contribute. I think it was one of those, and just not, how is he gonna react? Like, how is he gonna react? How is this gonna be taken? I think it was just kind of fear of like, how can I say this the correct way? I don't want to disappoint anybody, and I really want the conversation to go smooth and be productive. So,
What do you think about our team?
he's just trying to plug his companies now, y'all.
What do you think? Just, you're helping.
Yeah.
I think we will look back at an episode like this 20 years from now and be like, toast to the champagne on the 100-foot yacht.
Ooh, I like that word.
In Dubai, and we're just cooling.
On the sand.
Truly, global award winner.
Yeah.
In regards to X Media that we have yet to announce what that could be, TBD.
Yeah.
What is it about the team that you are working with? Because we haven't talked, I guess I said that was the last question, but I know we haven't talked too much on what we are doing directly together. Mm-hmm. Why do you like what we're doing? What do you like about the team? Anything that you would want to speak on in regards to what we are trying to do amongst ourselves?
Yeah. So many things to love about the team. I love that we're all different. Everybody's different. We all have amazingly different strengths. Like, it's crazy. Everybody has different experiences, so we're all bringing different things from, like, different pages. Like, some of us are in college and have experienced different things. You play professional, you played football in college. So did Rodney. Like, there's so many things we can all contribute. And we push each other. Like, when I say we push each other, y'all, we push each other. Literally. It's crazy. Like, it'll be like, Joshua will be like, I read this book, or I'm on chapter 10, you sleep. And I'm like, dang, I'm on chapter 2, let me go read. Like, we push each other, and we always want each other to get better. Like, I love how we're not afraid to give one another criticism. Shout out Madison, bro. Madison.
She not afraid to get criticism.
Madison tell you when she think I did just stupid. I be like, dang, you had to say it like that. But
right.
But it helps us though. Like, it helps us. And I think we have like good tension on our team. Yeah. Like, it's like, no, you're wrong. No, I'm right. And okay, and we go back, but in a positive way. I feel like we have really good communication when we don't agree with one another. Yeah. I think that's key, because some people have bad tone and can say it, and you can't be too sensitive on our team.
Right.
Can't be sensitive.
Yes.
If you're sensitive, this ain't the thing.
It ain't gonna work.
No.
It ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Okay, that's good. That's all I already got.
Ooh. First guest with the sure mic.
First guest with a sure mic.
It's moving.
Yeah,
Ooh.
you see it? Hey, listen, sure mic. Can we get some? Like, I'm trying to show y'all love here. We got the boom arm.
Can I get a free one?
Come on, okay. Like, we will show y'all love.
Oh, you lit, bro.
Come on.
I'll be in here like, so y'all, I think that.
I'm telling you.
Oh,
like,
this decent.
It's tough. Whatever you need to do, up, down, on it. Yes. Sure might. She told me about it. Yes. This is Aniyha Jones. Check her out on IG. You're wrong, sir. Just, really a no-brainer. If you got any value from this, I would ask for hit the subscribe button, a like, 5-star review, all the things. Something. Come on. Share it with a friend. Yes. All of the things are valuable, but this will not be the last time Aniyha is on. Probably record an episode tomorrow, I know. Probably. So that doesn't mean it'll be released tomorrow, but we are going to start getting out some more content. So you got anything else?
I think that's all. Ooh, we should do one for me tomorrow for You're Wrong, Sir.
Let's do it. We got it.
I got some good ones for you too.
We got it. I mean, we got what's needed, so.
Let's do it.
All right.
Ooh, thank you for having me.
Joshua Grady, Aniyha Jones, Agent Talk.